On the night of May 4th, getting ready for bed, I discovered this lump, and I was of the mindset that I really wasn't a candidate for breast cancer, so I kind of got a little loosey-goosey about checking and having a mammogram. And so went in the next day and saw the doctor, and she's like, I think we need to order a diagnostic mammogram and ultrasounds. And they do those tests, and then the radiologist comes in. You have 2 tumors. I'm like, tumors? Like, that wasn't even on the radar for me. And so we got to do further testing. And so biopsy was scheduled for the next Tuesday. I had got that call. I have invasive lobular carcinoma. Pleomorphic is the type of cells, so it was very much an aggressive cancer. And they discovered that I was stage 3C, which is right on the cusp of being metastasized. So it had metastasized outside the breast to the lymph nodes. Several lymph nodes were involved, but I had a 2-inch tumor. So pretty sizable. Thankfully, the cancer hadn't spread beyond those areas, and then the decision had to be made where I'm going to go for treatment, because I also have triple negative cancer. So my type of cancer is only 5 to 7% of all breast cancers. And being on the cusp of something that could not end well, I decided to go for my cancer treatments in Sibley Memorial in DC. After I'd gotten the diagnosis, before I started the treatment, I had gone up to go to the bathroom, and I just felt this heavy weight of dread on me. What if I don't make it through this? What if I never get to see grandchildren? Just came on me so hard. My heart was beating, my legs were giving away. I'm pouring down with tears. Wake up my husband, Scott. I need you to pray with me and for me. And so he got up, and I couldn't sit still. I'm walking around the bedroom. There were things that the Lord was bringing to my mind, some of which are fear. Fear needed to be slayed that night, because so easily I can give in to fear. Fear is a gift that the Lord gives us when He's alerting us to danger, but too often we are worried and fearful of so much more, and that's not of the Lord. He needed to bring up some unconfessed sin from my youth that never occurred to me that was sinful, and that was coming to mind. Needing to give up to Him that I have missed many opportunities to proclaim His name, to share the gospel. I was too concerned about offending somebody else and making them uncomfortable that I kept silent when I needed to speak. And so I purposed in my heart that I would be bolder for Him, to give glory to Him when I would meet different people at the hospital, the text to the oncologist to say, it's the Lord who's healed me. It's the people that have been praying and supporting, and they're praying for you as you do my surgery, to give that glory to the Lord. Be a little bit more intentional about sharing in little pieces the gospel and not just living it out. It's got to be both. Walk our talk and talk the walk. And so that was very much a turning point that night for me. The whole, I'm not good enough, I don't measure up, allowing Him to be healing me of some of those issues that were coming to mind. I call it the dark night of my soul. We were praying most of the night. After I hung up with my brother, we sang songs. We took turns coming up with hymns and praise songs, and that was going on throughout the night. And the next morning, I just had like this lightened soul. And it was then that the Lord changed me from a worrier to a warrior for Him. Through Christ, we can do all things who strengthens me. We are more than conquerors. So I did 16 weeks of treatment, and then I had to have a blood transfusion and bone biopsy, and then I had surgery. And it looked like we got everything, but when pathology came back, it showed that I had some isolated tumor cells in my lymph nodes. And so again, the debate, do we go back in and cut it all out, or do we allow radiation to do that? And the surgeon said, this is what radiation is designed for. I think your better option is to go with radiation. After I got over that, they wanted to do one last punch to make sure if there was any rogue tumor cells anywhere, we'll knock them out. So they put me on chemo pills. I got 11 days into it and I had such a severe reaction. I ended up at RMH hospital for 12 days. Nobody's really in the hospital for that long, but I had a bleeding colon. I developed like ulcers in my throat, so I couldn't swallow, in my mouth and my tongue. It was miserable. So they had to put me, put a PICC line in and all of that. And that's where the Lord intervened. And I had such a powerful prayer Zoom with people from our church. Several of you were on this and praying for me. What a powerful night that was, the second day in the hospital, not knowing if I would make it or not, but people prayed, and we have such a symphony of prayer warriors at our church who pray according to the scriptures and boldly interceded for my behalf. And so grateful to the Lord for answering those prayers, and so grateful for the support of prayers through the church. The Lord in His goodness planted us at First Pres, who is a very caring congregation. They mean what they say and they get into action and they are praying. And they were on a long journey praying for me and having that perseverance of prayer that you could get tired of. Oh, now what's going on now? They didn't have that attitude. They were right there with me. Because of my cancer has a high incidence of coming back, they want to keep a check on that. And so I have to keep a check on my mind, because we need to take captive all thoughts, because I could easily live into, oh, what's this? Oh, is this, could this be the cancer coming back? And so I can easily get into that. But I really try to say, okay, Lord, my mind's going to a place that's going to produce fear, and you need to help me to take captive those thoughts and not go there. But if there is a time when there is something there, I pray that you'll make it known to me to prompt me to go get that checked out. None of us have it all together. Those that do are with Jesus now. So He still has work to do in each one of us. And grateful that He takes me through these trials, even though they're difficult and we often don't want them. He is faithful. And if we allow Him, He will use it to His glory and for our good. And may He use any of my story to encourage somebody else of the hope that we have in Jesus Christ. He is indeed faithful, His word is true, and He is wanting to be in a relationship with us on a regular basis, moment by moment.